moving generally in the direction of free trade.
We need to have fair trade. Reagan was a fair trader. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. If he were here today, he would be absolutely appalled at what we have done to this nation in the name of free trade. Free trade is not free.
Our basic trade policy remains the same. We remain opposed as ever to protectionism because America's growth and future depend on trade. But we will insist on trade that is fair. We are always willing to be trade partners, but never trade patsies.
American manufacturing, free trade, balance of trade. What about all those things, sir?
I think one of the best ways that we can improve our economy is to make sure that trade is free. And I think...
what about our relationship with China in trade, sir?
What's that?
Our relationship with China on the subject of trade, please.
Well, we benefit from the fact that we're able to buy lots of goods from China, and I hope that they will start buying more American products. But to do that, we've got to make sure that we're buying products that they want to buy.
Here's the thing: few nations have ever risen to greatness on the back of hope. You know what I'm saying? And they've shown little appetite for American products yet. Mr. Bridgewater, the issue of foreign trade, free trade, fair trade, what ought to be our policy?
China is coming in our rearview mirror at an alarming pace. They just passed Japan as the second largest economy in the world, and they want our jobs, they want our wealth, they want to have a middle class like America has, and America's middle class is at risk if we don't get our government to downsize and stop borrowing so much money, and then we free up the private sector with low taxes and a very low regulatory environment. We've got to be able to drill for oil and gas in this state.
So free on the issue of trade, free trade is your position.
That's right.
Welcome back, friends. It is 8:37, and we're speaking for the next half hour with Cherilyn Eagar. Now, Mike Lee came on here and said free trade is the key to our prosperity. Your reference there to fair trade, you may not agree with that. What's your view on trade, please, ma'am?
I would have to vehemently disagree with the other challenger here, because I have had so much experience over the years dealing with the results of what has happened to our nation. We've lost our manufacturing base, and throughout history there is no precedent where a country can maintain its self-reliance and sovereignty and stability in the world without having a strong manufacturing base. In fact, I was talking to a farmer who just yesterday was telling me about what happened to his apple farm when China was allowed to start dumping on our market. And within 1 year, they were out of business. I think this is absolutely devastating to our nation. We have to have fair trade policies. We cannot be giving China a free ride to dump on our nation, and now the country that owns 9% of our debt, which I think is a great threat to our national security and sovereignty on the world stage. Ronald Reagan, the consummate conservative, used common sense in protecting some American businesses. Our founders also were very much in favor of policies that would be favorable to a nation. In fact, Thomas Jefferson did say at one time that he believed that merchants put commerce before country.
Utah has to step up and send someone. If it's a woman, and Cherilyn Eagar, that's a change for the better.